Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whale family. I'm your hostess, HeatherHrz, here with another episode of Project Showcase. I'm really excited to have Ancient Gardener and Eternal Caretaker from Bonsai by ZENFT. I'm really excited to hear all about this beautiful project. How are you guys?
Good.
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
I'm good externally and internally.
And eternally.
Yeah. I actually feel we were just talking a little before the stream, and your voices are actually very soothing. So I'm getting in a Zen space already, just looking at your site and hearing you guys. So I'll just start from the beginning. What was the inspiration behind this project? Who is it for?
This was for people in the NFT space that were looking for a more, like you somewhat hinted at, looking at a more relaxing experience, a bit of a more therapeutic experience. That's why we run like ambient relaxed radio on our site and in our Discord. We wanted to offer something that didn't have wasn't just like pure degen hype culture, like everything's chaotic and punk, We wanted something that might just like someone might just look at and actually feel relaxed and kind of peaceful. That's why we offered it in AR, so it could be more tangible in their space. And we've even had someone with PTSD talk to us and say, I put this up in my house and I look at it when I'm stressed out, which is,
Wow.
The most fulfilling feedback. Yeah, because I have gone through PTSD as well, and I like to use art to combat and cope with things like that. So the fact that your intent comes through is very fulfilling.
Yeah, it's not even my project, and my heart is touched just hearing that it makes somebody feel good. And I've experienced a lot of anxiety and depression and things for myself, and just looking at these, I feel very soothed, almost immediately. Yeah.
Happy to hear that.
So who is the artist behind these beautiful bonsai trees?
That would be me.
Or artists.
Yeah, that's all. Don't be bashful. Yeah, it's all Eternal. He did the whole thing. So the team is the three of us.
So cool.
Which is just me. I'm kind of like deepest in the NFTs, and then Eternal's an incredible artist, obviously. And our third is Seedmeister, who hooked up our smart contracts and helped with the code and that side of it.
Wow.
But yeah, he did. So Seedmeister and Eternal collaborated on to programmatically assemble these trees, and they just absolutely nailed it. I was amazed as they're making progress, how good they started to look, and I think the final project is just incredible. There's not a lot of other stuff out there right now that's like this at the scale, So,
no, and there's so many details. I love this one with the little bird too.
Yeah.
And it says your post-sale plans are to begin construction of the Eternal Garden in a community-chosen metaverse to immortalize bonsai holders and community, and also to do community-informed expansions. So has that already started happening yet?
Yeah. So we've definitely. So we have an official 3x3 plot in Sandbox. Lostrom's Last Slice crew was nice enough to give me a tour a week or two ago of Decentraland, and they started bringing in their bonsai into Decentraland already.
Wow.
They're also they've got they have a pretty large amount of land. And they also kind of gave us the ropes, right? Eternal is completely capable of handling the 3D creation of the Decentraland garden. And Lostrom gave us some tips there. So we should have that hopefully, I don't know how long it's going to take, maybe a month or 6 weeks. But we'll definitely have a full garden in Decentraland as well. And then we partnered with Land Vault. We just recently announced that. And they are you familiar with Land Vault, or should I just kind of say what they're up to real quick?
Just say something really quick for the people who are listening who might not know.
Yeah. So, and then this one too. This is Sandbox. But Land Vault came to us and said, "Hey, we really love your project. We want to work with you. And they're building a thing called Avatar Land. Avatar Land, which is basically a plaza, kind of like a plaza of shops that's right next to basically the Genesis spawn point in all of these in Decentraland in Sandbox. And they're building that out right now. And their core proposition to us was like, hey, we'll build this plaza in each main metaverse, and we want you to just be a partner and provide creative direction for your shop. And I was like,
wow.
I mean, where do I sign? So like,
that's so cool.
So this is Decentraland. These were some of the guys in Lossum's crew who were they've brought them into Decentraland. That's Zeta and I think 100 Rainbows. So shout out to them for the tour and bringing it in. That's kind of where we're headed. So we should have, I'm hoping in the next 2 months we'll have a proper space at Decentraland, and then Sandbox is, a little slower because I think they're releasing in like January, but we'll definitely have a presence there as well.
That's really exciting. We have a whale wellness series here that I co-host a weekly yoga and meditation stream.
No way.
I would love to like have one of those events in one of your VR spaces. Like I can just see it with all the bonsais. Like it would be so cool.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe in the future we can talk about like co-hosting some events there together.
Yeah, that would be amazing. We were we were definitely talking about like how can we do meditation a month or like a yoga a month. So the fact that you're already doing that sounds like perfect overlap. That would be amazing.
Woo! Yeah, we have a really great teacher. His name is Filippo. He goes by Meditative Monkey, and he does almost every class. He does like a brief yoga nidra, and it's heavenly. I love it.
Very cool.
I saw that when one buys a bonsai, they, in addition to getting the AR and VR version, they also are granted membership to the ZENFT Garden Society. So what do people get when they are part of that group?
Yeah, so we will be releasing our merch this week, finally, which I'm really happy to say. So if you're a bonsai owner, you'll be able to opt in to get your swag.
It's a 4 trait. Oh no, that's amazing. I didn't even notice that. That's so good.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see if that makes it in, but it's a little older, but it is great, right? Yeah. So 4 traits were like one of the trees that the community identified really early on. And the tree just has 4 traits and looks super simple and really zen. So it was kind of interesting because it was like an inverse of a lot of projects where the most traits are like really valuable. Like ours, kind of like some of the least trait trees are the most valuable, which is really cool.
Somehow the Zen,
and aesthetically beautiful.
Yeah, like somehow the Zen aesthetics like survived that mentality where everything else, like every other project, it's like, what's the craziest looking, the most gold and hectic and, cluttered is the most valuable. But people started to really care about the most Zen trees, which like by the numbers would be not the most rare. But I don't know. I like that happened.
Is that what this chosen ancient bonsai collection is? Because I noticed there was this different thing happening. And are those the least... Or is this like a whole other conversation?
This is a different thing. Sorry.
Yeah. No. So we designed those. Those were handmade. Eternal made those by hand versus all the algorithmically generated.
Oh wow. Oh. Okay.
And each of these had an intent and purpose behind it. So like Oh Shiny is like the gold tree is literally for him, for his contributions before we launched.
The Shining Cypress.
The Shining Cypress. The Eternal Twin is for Justin Aversano. And then we had like the Seer was a competition award. Whoever like guessed how most closely the time it would take us to sell out. So you can see these are quite unique.
Yeah, the Eternal Twin for Justin Aversano, who created a photo series NFT where he photographed twins. So there's like kind of like a direct inspiration for each of the. This was the Glorious. And what's happened at the Glorious now? Because I know the story of its design, but
yeah. I remember this one. I was like, we
no,
had
but I
so
mean,
many
like,
competitions.
right? But what is its current place and use? Because I remember its design conception, and why it looks like it looks, but
Right.
I don't know where it is.
Well,
at the moment.
no. So we ended up using it. We raffled it to a random wallet address who made a purchase on OpenSea within the first 2 weeks of the mint, is what it ended up being.
Right, but that wasn't the original concept for it.
Right. The original one was, was this it? I actually can't remember. I'm mixing them up now with the Imperial and the Glorious. I don't remember the original one. I just remember what we ended up doing.
I think it was highest. It was because I remember the design. It goes from wood to silver, so it was. It splits into
purchase.
secondary sale. I thought
it was. Oh, that's right. It was the highest purchase. That's right. I remember. Yeah. So it was going to be the highest sale within the first 2 weeks after mint. But we decided that wasn't very fair once we minted, so we changed it to be a random raffle, and a community member won, so that was cool.
The bonsai thought was pretty pure in its original design, and then also how it got awarded. That one went really well. That person, I don't know how they solved that so fast. We had this crazy this crazy multi-step like puzzle that people had to complete that like someone was able to solve so fast, and there's honestly not a way to cheat it, especially the AR portion of it.
We locked it up.
You can't even download the textures and piece together the hints, so they just must have they big brained it for sure.
he was first by like 10 minutes.
It's crazy.
A solid 10 minutes, and then there were like a bunch of answers that came in. But that was really fun. The whole puzzle, I thought it was going to take longer, but we really got through it pretty quick. Yeah,
that was fun.
It was really fun.
So these were all you handmade all of these with the special intent for special people on your team, and
or competitions.
Like that first one, Bonsai Thought was a reward for winning a puzzle we ran.
So cool.
This was like what was the flow? It was I think you started
a YouTube video.
We just dropped a YouTube link.
Yep. And there's a hidden QR code.
Yeah.
If you pause at certain frames, you'll see a QR code.
Wow.
In that QR code, you'll get a code which helps you decipher a tweet. And if you decipher that tweet, it'll give you a URL which will let you download a really trippy, one-of-a-kind AR tree. And the AR tree has a really
it was so hard. I couldn't even hardly do it, and I knew the answer.
It has cool. Hold on, let me share that link with the community.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Forced perspective, anamorphic imagery letters. It's confusing, but you have to view it in AR on your phone, and it looks like just like texture mess. But if you look at it from a certain angle, letters will appear in the leaves and such. But someone is able to solve it pretty fast.
I don't know that I sent it over. I don't know actually why we made people submit a video of them solving it, because we're like, how are we going to know that they solved the AR and didn't get it from their friend?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so they ended up having to upload a video. So I have those videos, but I don't think they're on Twitter.
I really love that. It's like a digital scavenger hunt.
It was, yeah.
That's so fun.
Exactly what we're doing, yeah.
I love that. That's so creative. I think that we should start doing that with our giveaways and stuff like that too. It makes it more fun.
Work for it.
Instead of just like and retweet. But then kind of make it more mystical and stuff. It really lends itself to your project too.
It is. It is fun. I'll say there is a trade-off where if it's randomly given away, no one's going to complain that they didn't get it because they know it's random. But if it's a puzzle, everyone that doesn't get it, whoever wins it
got frustrated for sure.
Whoever wins it is proud. Everyone else that didn't, it was too hard.
Yeah. Huh.
There were definitely some good sports and some bad sports.
I feel like that happens. Everyone, we have like
Yeah.
things all the time where we will like show the drawing, like randomnamegenerator.com or whatever, and they're like, the game's rigged. We're like, how?
Yeah,
You just did it in front of you.
Right. Exactly.
So
Yeah,
have
it's
you been hosting events yet in your space in Decentraland and Sandbox, or you're just playing radio in there?
Yeah, not yet. We basically, I don't know, people come in and they're like, they either really like our Discord because it's pretty chill, or they're like, it's so boring in here. But it is really chill. I mean, like, our community has really, I think, formed nicely, and we have some people who are around a lot, checking in every day and making content. So that's formed nicely. And then I think we haven't really had any metaverse events yet. Because I honestly wasn't that familiar with building for Decentraland. Like, I'd been in for a handful of posts and events and whatever, but so it took us a little bit to find the builders, get that download. So now we're in that process. So no events really yet, but they'll be coming in the next 6 weeks.
Oh, and what team did you work with building your spaces in DCL?
Lostrom's Last Slice team. So like Zeta and 100 Rainbows are, I think, they're both bonsai holders. And they just started tweeting, and I was like, wow, I got to get in touch with these guys who are building these Decentraland trees and see what's up. And it turns out they're part of like this larger crew who are just great. They helped out with like the Deadheads event. So they're just a great team of builders.
Yeah. I gotta get my Oculus on and check it out.
Yeah.
So I noticed too on Twitter that you posted a tutorial for people to be able to manipulate their bonsai in Blender. So like people are able to.
I guess that was an event we did recently. We did that.
Yeah. That was really fun.
So Eternal hosted like an hour-long workshop for like kind of like tree manipulation 101. And now we have a community member who really took to it, Bonsai. Best name in the Discord.
Awesome.
Bonsai. And he's got a wicked cranium profile pic and bonsais. And bonsai, there you go. But he's really taken to it after the tutorial, and we're kind of collaborating on a sneak little project that's going to be coming out hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that was really, I think that's a huge success. We had one person come out who was able to learn it so quickly that they're making some custom art, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
That's dope. So just getting into like the rarity and scarcity and like the different types, can you talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
definitely. People are always asking me, they're like, oh, which tree should I get? Which one's the most rare? My answer, maybe this is just lazy, I don't know, but is just pick the one that you like. We got on Rarity Tools like day of, and there was we ended up having a bunch of traits that were not actually traits. Ooh. Or like they weren't attributes, but just ended up that way in the render. I think number of fruit was one. Left facing mantis became one.
Spookiness.
There were these spooky trees. So that was like we had those like attributes that weren't actually OpenSea attributes, and they were just a product of the render.
And of course, 4-trait.
And 4-trait trees. And then I actually enjoyed way more the ones that the community pulled out and inferred from the tree, right? So it was like there's actually a secondary trait knowledge happening that's actually not in the OpenSea attributes, which that's like super interesting to me.
That's cool.
And then
that was
as far
community discovered, you're saying?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, they were just pulling stuff out as people were getting trees, and they're like, oh, what'd you get? What did I get? They're like, oh, my mantis is left facing. What does it mean? It doesn't say it's left facing, but it is.
It became a meme.
Why is the other one's right?
Yeah, it became like a pretty powerful kind of like pseudo cult thing within the
so
community. It
we
was really
like
fun.
added the left-facing mantis emoji and that gang, and there's still a little like a higher price for those, even though they aren't an OpenSea attribute, which is interesting.
Huh. That's so cool. It's just like taking on a life of its own. The
100%.
meaning behind them.
Yeah,
I think
love it.
we were able to. I haven't seen this really happen too much elsewhere, where people traded based on not just rarity but aesthetics.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that was a good accomplishment.
Yeah, I think so too, for sure. Because it's a lot of things, especially with generative art too. It's like, it's nice that it can actually be hinged on just its beauty, just because the community decides.
Right. This one we're looking at right now, we've gotten requests. They're like, are we going to be able to prune our bonsai? Like, I want everybody wants to prune the bamboo as a pet.
I'm like, can I prune it? Can I make it glittery and stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, now they can. Yeah. They can in Blender. They can do whatever they want to it.
That's right.
So cool.
That's right. They have the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they can make different VR versions of it if they want, which is super cool.
That's what we want.
This is well, I think we were going to talk about this later, but I see some questions from the group already about something you were going to address later, but I'm like, maybe we should save it for the end.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's save it for the end just because it's fun.
We can wait a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make them sweat for the alpha.
That's right.
Yeah, this one is dope. I was gonna ask, so are you able to cross-pollinate them? Is that going to be something that you can do in the future?
So we don't have like specific breeding on the immediate roadmap, but we do have ideas. We definitely have ideas for future drops that are gonna take advantage of bonsai attributes and the ones you hold, if that makes sense. So we won't like specifically breed trees, but we want those future drops to respect the attributes that are already in the bonsai.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? That's a little vague. But
it's a little vague, but
we can only be vague about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Top
Well, that's cool. It sounds like it's going to be different then, so that's exciting. Iliscavi is asking, are there any plans to have them grow and require pruning?
So not right now. Well,
No.
not in the original bonsai are just locked from a technical perspective, right? We didn't build that growing into this first generation. I mean, it's something that everybody's interested in. We've heard a lot in the Discord. We'd literally have to like build it in a new way because they're programmatically assembled, or take it into a new experience where we could actually build that and say, okay, this is like your bonsai, but you can't tie it back to the NFT because we didn't build it in a manipulative way, or like in a way that it could be manipulated after the mint, right? So I think in the future it would either be a second generation of trees or a custom experience that we build as it's like a game client or a web experience where you could come and prune a growing tree. But so I guess that's a long way of saying no.
So then no like plans to sort of, I wouldn't even know how you would gamify it, but like if there's outside of placing it in AR VR space, like
there are plans to gamify it. We don't want to talk about too much right now because it's like in heavy like how do we make it happen
we're
mode.
iterating for sure,
but
it's very embryonic.
Does not necessarily involve pruning, but it will involve like some awesome utility for the bonsai trees.
That's exciting. I'm like really wanting one.
PPs.
It's been the theme of the evening. Both of our people that we've interviewed have alpha that they cannot reveal. But it's exciting. It's exciting things are happening.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I was just curious, where does the number 8,888 come from? Just
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like a 10,000 felt just so flat to me, and then like if you have a little numerology, it's it's supposed to be prosperity and good luck in, I think, China.
In Japanese culture as
culture, yeah,
is inherited from China, but yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it just like the number just looks great, honestly, as well. Like,
I love the number 8.
Just like pleasing to look at, and it was it was like the right amount, and then it just kind of trickled into everything we do. So, the mint price was 08, flat. We like give away like 8 trees, 8%, wherever it just worked out really well, and most of the things we're trying to do. I'm like
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, like,
no,
numbers too. No, I'm just a number nerd too. Like, I love the number 18 because in Jewish culture, numbers are assigned to different letters, and the number 18 is associated with the word Chaim, which means life. So, and I also just love the number 8 because it's part of 18 and means infinity and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to know why they liked that number.
Yeah, it was that once like we had the idea, it was like, okay, that's done. That's it. No, done. Check. Next item. It was perfect. And I've seen a couple of more projects do it now where I don't know, I hadn't seen like a lot of other collectibles with not 10,000 around that time.
We saw one drop 8,888.
Yeah.
One did, and it was one of those derivative projects that was. I mean, I wouldn't call it a derivative. The derivative is usually like sanctioned and like in support of, but this one was literally like, it was taking one aspect from a bunch. It felt kind of memey. It was like taking one aspect from a bunch of different projects, and they took the 0.08 at 8888 from us. I
think. It's just a good number.
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then it makes it just a little bit more rare. Ooh, I just peeped this gold one right here. Sick.
Oof, the golden boys and girls.
So cool. Even I just had like a very simple one on it too that was just very satisfying to look at on its own without all the bells and whistles.
I'll be honest, there was a lot of effort put into making that happen, making the simple ones look good.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm a graphic designer and art director, so I know all about how simple is not simple or clean is not necessarily easy or to get to. Sometimes it's a complicated road getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
We just didn't want it to look. We didn't want it to look not as valuable. We just wanted to look zen, not empty, or not just purely like nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
But go on.
Yeah, I got it. No, I was just still thinking about the number 8. I thought it was really cool that 8% of the proceeds go to La Via Campesina. I was curious, like, why. I mean, they're a great organization that work for human rights and food sovereignty and climate justice, among other social causes. But why was that the organization that you chose?
That's why, because they don't have
all the things.
They don't have a large board of donators like the people from, Tencent or the Bill Gates Foundation, people with ulterior motives that sometimes overwrite the needs of the local people that some of these organizations are intended to help, where I think there's a lot of false flags within the donation game, and a lot of them are there to test technology, or they're only there to a certain limit at which it benefits the benefactors of the technology, which are the large donators, these large tech companies. And a lot of donations just serve as justice signaling badges and tax write-offs. Yeah, exactly. So this is actually completely it's called the peasant run movement, because it's completely run and all the decisions are made by the people in that area. So this is not just one organization, it's an umbrella for lots of smaller, grassroots, largely feminist peasant run movements, where a large tech company can't say that, like, now you have to do this but you have to do it using this app of ours, or you can accept patients as long as, their social media postable stories, which is, believe it or not, like that's a lot of what these foundations do. And we didn't want this to be, we didn't want to whitewash the, the effects of participating in, high energy cost technology. So we wanted to try to do something somewhat useful with our money.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing cause, and they work globally, covering everything that you would want to to help in our crazy world. So I think that's really great, and that's a very generous amount that you're donating to. So kudos to you guys for that. It's really cool. I wish that more projects were thinking about that and trying to like offset the impact that we have. That's super cool. Yeah, Justin said, I love that reasoning for choosing that organization.
Just critical. Just got to think critically about this stuff. A lot of nasty things are happening. Yeah. Yeah. And I certainly resonate with the fact that it's like I can't really enjoy the good things that I have knowing that other people can't have it. And I'm like, I feel like I want to do something to that end too. So I really admire seeing projects like this to take that opportunity to use their clout for good stuff. So I wish the best for you guys so that you can help them out too. It's super cool. Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah. So I guess I can ask that question. So Radka41 wanted to know, what's the latest with the water token?
Yes.
Take it away.
Yes. Okay. This has been, this was so tumultuous to get this token. And everybody's saying, when water, because we had it. To everybody's benefit, we had it up on the site until the day of the sale, and got advice to say, hey, if you don't, I don't think your distribution is gonna go well. You should remove it from the site. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just the last thing I need to do on launch day. But it was the right advice. So we took our time and spoke with a bunch of legal representatives. We're a US-based team. So regulation it's unclear.
Yep.
I'm sure you know the situation. I also don't enjoy the regulatory aspect. It's frustrating and slow and heavy. But we made that decision, and so we spoke to a bunch of teams and came to a conclusion that we think is the lowest risk for us as a team, and also is just a great reward for holders. So we've come to a model where each week, if you hold a bonsai, you'll be able to come to our site and hit claim, and you'll get roughly 216 water each week. And we're going to run that for 888 years is the plan. So really? We wanted, for real, because we ended up, we were talking a lot about bonsai and this sense of longevity. And it just seemed like a cool way. People in our Discord were saying, "Oh, we want to pass our bonsai to our kids." And I was like, when I was thinking about this token, I was like, how could we make it, something that will last and emit water? So that's the idea that we've come up with, and it's a fair distribution. And I think we're going to reserve 0.8% for the team and community, just so that we have water to incentivize devs and game devs and designers and folks in the community. But yeah, that should be starting pretty soon, in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. We'll get that rolling.
I was going to say, do you have a link to that so people have it when it's ready?
We don't right now, but it will be ZENFT.xyz/claim, which nothing is there right now. But that's where it will live.
Cool. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
tell
and-
everybody join your Discord, which I've shared.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I need to boost us back to level 3 so we can get that nice URL. You lose some boosters and you're like, okay, but
No Discord.
yeah, but yeah, that's the big news. So the wait is over for everybody finally, and I'm super excited. Everybody said if you're not going to do it, just stop talking about it, but we're going to do it. We just need a little bit of time.
Okay.
So that's the exciting news, and we'll.
So there's no date yet, but it's soon.
Within the next 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay, exciting. All right, so in the next 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the exciting news. We're going to use the token. It'll be it'll have utility in our future drops and endeavors. So that's the plan.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And is there going to be anything exclusive for bonsai holders already? With respect to the water drop?
So we took 2 snapshots during the mint. So we'll be airdropping tokens to those addresses as long as they still have a bonsai. Probably awesome. A couple weeks worth of token. Yeah.
All right, so that's incentive to buy a bonsai soon.
Yeah.
More incentive.
That's right.
So do you have any other upcoming events or anything else that you want our community to know about?
Kinda, yeah. Can I talk about the contest?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, perfect.
We're still coming up with what the rewards would be, but we want to kickstart a community art contest. It's nothing big, but just give people the opportunity. And we also have some tech coming out that I don't have to talk about, but it'll assist with that. But we want to do a 3D rendering category, a 2D rendering, like, painting or Photoshop or whatever, and AR photography contests, and then have the community vote on the winners and then immortalize those winners somehow. I think we'll come up with some like creative rewards for it, but just a way to, and that's the kind of like how the Blender tutorial started, just kick off people some tools to get started on that, and then we'll announce it more officially coming up. But it's nothing too big and hypey, but hopefully something enjoyable for the creatives in the group.
That sounds super cool. And that you're including all different types of art too, so like everybody can participate. So yeah, everybody join their Discord so you can hear more about that and find out what the rewards will be. It sounds like it'll be cool. However they'll immortalize you, I'm sure it'll be dope. I want to track back though, because before we started going live, you mentioned something about Roots of Rage and how it was like.
That's a fun story.
Yeah, I want to hear this story. So I'm gonna share this in the chat.
We had a bit.
Yeah. Okay, you tell it.
We had a little bit. I mean, we had a little bit of a blunder on drop day, and I mean, it happens a lot with other collectibles. But there was a bit of of a problem where minting happened past capacity, so people bought but didn't get. There's a few people that didn't get anything, and although it was just a few people, those people were very upset. And we wanted to be really strong with our brand as like a fair and like caring company and group of people. So instantly we started working on a way to redeem all the money that they spent and gas prices. But we were, just in the chat listening to people rage about this. Like, I really wanted trees. I missed it. This isn't fair. I'm angry. And someone said you should make anger trees for those people. Like, and honestly, I wanted, I felt really bad for these people. Like, they really wanted a tree and they missed it. And like, it's just like the FOMO of it. So we decided to design like an inverse, like freaky flipped Zen tree, which is the Roots of Rage tree for all those people that got, their rage on. There were those people that were in the Discord raging, pissed at the project. We wanted to do something not to shame that their experience, to acknowledge it and tell you this is you earned this rage tree. So we airdropped.
That is so beautiful.
So we airdropped them a free NFT, and they were pretty valuable to those people. You know, the only downside is like these people that everything went right for. It's like, where's my thing?
Yeah,
Where's my
like
special thing?
They
Yeah.
got rage, they did
I was
get
gonna
the
say.
rage tree. Yeah.
I was gonna
right.
say, did it cause like a rift because people were like, "Hey,
It
Yeah,
did, but I,
special
honestly, I don't have like, we're not gonna address that much at all, because it's like these people I think aren't being too sympathetic to the people that actually got boned. Like, you know, you didn't get boned. You didn't,
yeah,
you didn't have
yeah.
ETH out of your wallet for a day.
Yeah.
You didn't miss out.
Yeah.
There's people that like, you know, put their ETH in. It's like, I don't have ETH to trade in the secondary market. I'm missing all the secondary market sales like
Yeah.
on the first day.
Yeah.
So you
Ugh.
lost nothing. These people actually lost something. We're trying to make up for it. And they just, I mean, those people are understandably mad that missed out on the first day, but the people that just didn't get the free thing, I don't think they're understandably mad.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like, nah.
No, they aren't. No.
Yeah.
The initial crowd that you created this for absolutely deserved it, and I think that's such a thoughtful and, you know, even like more than you needed to do as a response, but I think it looks amazing too. Like you could have just like made, I don't know, more bonsais that looked like the other ones, but that this was special for them and acknowledging their feelings is super cool.
Yeah, there was
Love
some
that.
funny, what was the names of the attributes? There was like, oh, the terracotta was the pot. I forgot the other one.
Terracotta. Oh, that's funny.
The murder maple, but
Murder
yeah,
maple.
that was pretty fun. We wanted to just, I mean, because we like the bonsai, we want to be a longer generational reliable product, and we have big plans in the future, and we just want to, in everything we do and reaction to and interacting with our community, we want to be the dependable product.
I love that. That sounds very aligned with Whale's vision too. You know, we want this to be a long-term project that outlives our current team, and have it's not just the project, it's the community itself. We want that to grow and evolve, and in just a short year it's been amazing to see. So I really like that that's how you're thinking too, you know, even with the token, to have it for 888 years. Yeah, I love this idea of thinking ahead, and also, you know, tying it in with the actual subject matter. You know, these are bonsais; they can last a really long time, and they're beautiful. Yeah, so I don't think I have any other questions from the community, so I think it's a good time to wrap up and just say thank you so much for coming and talking with us tonight and sharing your amazing projects. And go and join their Discord so you can join their upcoming art competition. That sounds like it's going to be really cool. And it sounds like their Discord is a beautiful space, and you can listen to some Zen radio and vibe out with some other like-minded folks. And we definitely have to talk about whale yoga in the bonsai ZENFT space in DCL.
Yes.
For sure, in the garden. Yes.
Absolutely. So
Thank you so much.
Okay. That'll be great. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. It was great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great night, everyone, and day wherever you are. Bye.